Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Annalia Mintz, and I'd like to share with you my practice and the modalities I use to get to the root cause of your health issues. My first set of certificates were received from Total Health Mastery with instructor Arnaud Goran. Each certificate was extremely valuable, and as I graduated from being a health consultant, nutritionist, and detox specialist. But over time, I felt the need to go deeper and understand why someone even has these health issues to begin with. And that's where I wanted to learn about the emotion code with founder Dr. Bradley Nelson. I am now certified as an emotion code practitioner and use the body code as needed. So what is the emotion code? Well, first of all, we learned that 85% of all your health issues basically are 85% emotionally related. And that is also what I wanted to talk to you about as well, is once I find that I remove the emotions related to your, let's say, shoulder pain, then I wanted to, and it shows up that you have a pain, that is where I go into the body code. I am basically gifted and trained to tap into your subconscious mind. And what is your subconscious mind? Your subconscious mind basically is the blueprint to your entire body. It knows everything about you. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit further. Right now, I want to show you how I tap into your subconscious mind. There's many ways to tap into it. Some practitioners use the sway method. Some use O-ring. I was gifted and trained to use this, and this is a pendant. And you know, this doesn't have to be the only pendant. There's some other pendants as well. This one happens to be a salt. And so long as it moves for me when I ask very specific questions, then I know it's working. I'm not a psychic, I'm not a doctor. It's energy work. This is all energy work. I'm tapping into your subconscious mind energetically. So I'm going to give you a little sample now. Here's my hand, and I'm going to ask my subconscious, which knows everything about me, including my name, of course, what my name is. And I ask very specific yes, no answers. And if it goes clockwise, like this, that's going to be a yes for me. And if it goes counterclockwise, which I'm now spinning it, it'll go that way. But now we're going to do a demonstration where my subconscious is actually moving it. So here we go. My name is Anna. Yes, 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 yes. My name is Jane. No, no, no. It's going the exact opposite way. So that is how I tap into you. You give me your name, and we put it on my cell phone. You will text it to me. I will ask very specific questions, of course, your name, and then I'll ask what health issue are you having. After that, I'm going to tap into the 60 emotions that are basically stored in your subconscious mind. Here they are over here. And there's 60 negative stored emotions right there. They could be in any language, by the way. Even if I help somebody in a different part of the world and I asked anxiety, their subconscious mind will know anxiety when I say anxiety. So if I remove all these and I ask, does that person still have physical pain on their shoulder? And it says yes, I now go into the body code. And the body code shows 6 imbalances. First one being a pathogen. I will ask, does the person have a pathogen? Pathogen can include a virus. Parasites. You have no idea how many people have parasites or mold in their house that they're not aware of. I'll ask if they has a misalignment. Is there bone on bone? How many people keep going to the chiropractor for the same exact adjustment needed? And that's because they've got a stuck emotion in there. So we'll remove that. Next thing I would ask is nutrition and lifestyle. Are you allergic to anything? Are you lacking a supplement? Do you need something more? Circuits and systems. There's 5G right now that is bombarding people's brains and DNA. It's sucking out their energy. I will ask, are you sensitive to that? Are you sensitive to maybe a microwave that you're still using? Toxins, it covers toxins. Perhaps you're taking medication. You've got negative reactions from too many antibiotics. So we'll figure that out as well. So in a nutshell, I will ask those questions, and once I detect what it is, we're going to want to remove them. So I'll go back to the emotion code and we'll see what 60 emotions are stored that are affecting your health issue. And I will be your surrogate. I will literally either remove the emotion on your picture, on the face itself, waving it 3 times with my magnet. Why a magnet? A magnet magnifies and releases, removes all the emotions that don't belong there. Okay. If you're not in person, I can use me as a surrogate as well. That's another way of doing it. And I remove it by going over my governing meridian. So for example, I will ask, removing the negative emotion, the negative trapped emotion of anxiety from John, let's say. And I would run it over my governing meridian. Governing meridian's right here, very powerful meridian. I run it over my governing meridian on the top of my head and down the back of my neck 3 times. If I'm removing an old inheritance from my client, I would run it 10 times because it's more deep. What is old inheritance? Old inheritance are your ancestors. You can easily be carrying emotions from your ancestors. Please look up my testimonials on that. I had a gentleman named Jake Hayward who was on there, and he wants people to know all the great success stories that he's had having done a session or 2 with me doing the emotion code. And he had a lot of old inheritance, and we removed them. Made a huge difference. So please look up my testimonials and also look up the emotion code. You can find it on the first show that I produced and host. It's called Healthy Haven. It was on the first show, and it's in a PowerPoint presentation. You can actually fast forward a little bit because I introduced a lot of hosts and co-hosts and dancers on the first show. But if you forward it and go to the PowerPoint, this will explain what a trapped emotion is, what a heart wall is, what a old inheritance is. Lastly, I want to end by showing you some of the things that you can actually get done with an emotion code session. And I offer free 15 minutes, by the way, to get you to just kind of give you an idea of what you're dealing with. Some of the things I remove are blockages for abundance. How many of you feel like you're just not making enough money? And you know what? It's not all about the money. Sometimes you just may not have a good job, or be losing court cases, or just your boss is treating you badly. The universe is meant to shower you with favor, and that's what I want to help you do. So the abundance session is probably a huge, powerful one that a lot of people really found great results and reported back to me on that. So we could do that. We could do absorption of nutrients. How many of you are taking really good supplements and you're still not feeling well? Maybe you're not absorbing them. So let's find out about that. Or you're lacking a supplement. I help people with ADD, with addictions, allergies. Believe it or not, a lot of your allergies are emotionally related. Anxiety, that was huge during COVID. We had anxiety, depression, stress. We could get rid of all that. And let me just add, I cannot relive your, you don't need to relive your story and tell me why you're depressed or why you think you're depressed. It's not my concern. My concern is to tap into your subconscious and just remove it. Remove it and replace it with something more positive. So if I'm removing anxiety, what would be the opposite of that? Serenity, peacefulness, happiness, joy, right? So we take out the bad and put in the good. Anti-aging, autoimmune. How many of you are dealing with diabetes or cancer issues? I've noticed also, I want to add, women that have breast cancer, a classic example of those, usually are divorced or lost a loved one. Seems like it's a classic pattern with that. So let's work on removing emotions. Of course, I cannot take away the scenario that you had of having lost a loved one, but I can make it so it doesn't affect your physical well-being. Brain stimulation, blood work detection, depression, digestion. How many of you are having digestive issues? Fears. We can work on relationships. How many of you right now are having blockages with your relationships? It could be that you're still unforgiving. You can't forgive your last relationship, or having been abused by somebody. I work on ACE, adverse childhood experience. A lot of you had very negative childhoods affecting your well-being right now. So we can work on that. Sleep disorders, suicidal thoughts. Let me add to that. Suicidal thoughts are not always your thoughts. Believe it or not, it could come from an old ancestor and bloodline that is affecting you, and you're wanting to commit suicide, but it's not really your thoughts. There's lots of negative energies also around you that could be making you want to commit suicide. So if any of you would like to try, I'd like to add on foot pain. A lot of you have foot pains or arthritis. That could be due to ungrounded ancestors. Probably never heard of that, but I did. And we could see if you had any, and they could be deceased by now. That's okay. We could still remove the emotions that is affecting you. Urinary incontinence. How many men or women have urinary incontinence? Well, we discovered that the back of your calves, the redox molecule cells on the back of your calves can easily be affecting that. And I can help you remove that as well. And because basically the bladder meridian runs up and down that area. So we could do that. I could remove post-COVID symptoms. How many of you people started losing hair after COVID, whether you got COVID or not? If you got the vaccine, some of you have lost hair with that, and some post-COVID also have been losing hair. Why? Because there's trauma now in your cells. The brain and the cells still remember the trauma of having dealt with COVID and the after effects. So I can help you remove that as well. Anyway, I said more than enough on what I do. Please look me up on my website, once again, naturalhealthyhaven.com. Look up the testimonials and, of course, the emotion code that better explains all that we just discussed. I look forward to helping you get to the root cause of your issues and offering you a free 15 minutes to discuss anything you'd like on that. Wishing you all optimal health. Thank you.